the conventional wisdom in the media is that this is going to help Democrats. In fact, let me play a piece of tape here from S.E. Cupp, cut 2 here, where she says that because of the overturning of Roe, it's hard to imagine the Republican Party surviving this. Play cut 2.
Question that Brianna asked, I think, is the right one. It's sort of now now that anti-abortion activists got what they wanted, right, which is to overturn Roe versus Wade, what happens now politically, do you think?
It's hard to imagine the Republican Party surviving this. Between anti-abortion, anti-LGBTQ, book banning, anti-democracy, I mean, add all of the regressive bullshit to this, add it all together, and I don't know who's left in the future generations to be drawn to this party.
Jack, is this a death sentence for the conservative movement?
A death sentence? No, this is more like a new lease on life, because as people have been saying, I think rightly so, that the old conservative movement is dead. Welcome to the new right. So the difference is, if this were the old conservative movement, if this were the 1990s, if this were even the early 2000s, right? What was the status quo on abortion, right? And let's just talk politics right now. Let's talk about where things were in the country back then. The status quo was safe, legal, and rare, right? Remember that safe, legal, and rare. And it was sort of this entrenched battle where people, really couldn't get any traction along the edges on this issue. But then what happened? The progressive woke left went completely crazy with it. You had President Trump there on the debate stage with Hillary asking her about late-term abortion, and she won't even deny that she supports it. She won't say that that's completely crazy. So when we've got the technology on our side, when we've got science on our side, when we've got right on our side, because we know obviously individual DNA means an individual embryo, individual person, right? They went so far with it that they gave us an inch, and then we were able to swing the massive people in the middle. Then they start launching culture wars on, teaching our kids there's 85 genders, that you can be whatever gender you want, that it's pick your own gender of the week kind of thing. They started going completely crazy. So I think the context of what S.E. Cupp fails to realize. The context is we are in the culture wars, whether you like it or not. And if you're putting up if you're putting up points on the board for the culture wars, if you're showing that you're part of the movement that is going to bring the great ship that is the United States, trying to, it's like when I was in the Navy, right? An aircraft carrier, it doesn't turn on a dime, right? It turns very slowly, but you've got to move inch by inch by inch. So in order to do that, it's not that America is lurching, to the far right or something. It's that America, yeah, sure, it's moving right, but it's moving back to the center right, and that's where this country always was. Amen. That's why you're seeing wins like this, and people are going to get on board with the side that's showing actual tactical gains on the political battlefield in terms of this, right? Roe v. Wade was a sacred cow for the left for a generation, and now it is gone. That never would have happened if you weren't in this culture war environment that we are now with the new coalition of the new right.